Welcome you all. Myself S. Karthikeyan, working as a faculty in the Department of Aerospace Engineering at B.S. Abdurrahman Crescent Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai. So in this video, we are going to discuss about one of the important governing equation in fluid dynamics called continuity equation. I hope at the end of the video, you can able to get the answer for the following question, because these are the important questions when you're talking about the governing equations. Normally we will have the doubt about these topics, so that's why I listed the question. So quickly I read the questions one by one. The first of all, why we need the governing equation? Governing equation in fluid dynamics, what are the governing equations are available? Then what is control volume, what is control surface, what is infinitesimal fluid element, then 4 different type form of flow models. When we apply the integral form of governing equation, when we apply the differential form of governing equation, what is substantial derivative, what is local derivative, what is convective derivative, what is mean by conservation form of governing equation, what is mean by non-conservation form of governing equation, one-dimensional form of governing equation, three-dimensional form of governing equation. Then most important, we have the integral form of governing equation. Similarly, differential form of governing equation, whether we can able to change integral to differential or differential to integral. So that's that question answer also you will be able to get from this video. And finally, one example problem also given in this end of this video. So my suggestion, we are going to use so many technical terms, especially for streamlines, compressible flow, incompressible flow. Okay, so if you are familiar with those terms, okay, I'm saying that only for example, we are going to use so many terms, then it is okay. Otherwise, already I uploaded one video in my channel, and the video names fluid properties, types of line, types of fluid, and types of flow. So you can refer that video for getting more ideas about the basic things. Now we'll see the content of this video. The first thing is, when we have the problem, we are looking for the solution. There is a last point. You can see here, when we have the problem, we are looking for the solution. That is ultimate aim. But the solution we are obtaining by the so many of steps. So we are not going to discuss all those things because it is advanced level. Just I am telling about what is the necessary of governing equation. The problem solution method solve only based on the governing equation. So understanding of governing equation very essential to solve the problem. That is the idea behind for this slide. Now we will get the answer for the few questions. The first one, why we need the governing equation? So the governing equation of a mathematical model describes how the values of unknown variables, okay, how the values of unknown variables changes when one or more of the known variables changed. So we know that two variables, unknown variables and known variables. When we are changing the known variables, how unknown variables are changes. So this thing will be come to know only using of governing equation. Then governing equation of fluid dynamics. So now we are discussing about the continuity equation. Continuity equation is one of the governing equation in fluid dynamics. Apart from that, we have momentum equation and the energy equation. So these are the very basic. Sometimes equation of state and other equation also we are saying that the governing equation, but generally we call as these three equations are governing equations. Continuity equation based on the principle mass is conserved. Momentum equation is based on the Newton's second law. And the energy equation is based on the energy is conserved. Based on this principle only, these three governing equations are derived. Then similarly, the three important points when you are solving the problems, okay, you have to remember these 3 points should be followed perfectly. So to obtain the basic equation of fluid motion, the following philosophy is always followed, okay. Then only you will get the clear idea about the problem. Similarly, solution. The first one, choose the appropriate fundamental physical principle from the law of physics. Okay, that is a very first step. So what is that? Is nothing but based on the problem physics, you have to choose which principle you are going to follow. For example, whether the problem related to continuity equation, I mean the problem related to mass whether the problem related to forces and other activities, whether the problem related to energy. So depends upon the physics of the problem, you have to choose the principle. That is the first point. Okay, then second point, apply this principle to the suitable model. So upcoming slides we are going to discuss about the different type of the model. That time you will come to know. So once you choose the principle, you have to choose the suitable flow model. Then based on these things, we have to derive the clear mathematical equation for the particular case. Okay, so that is the point you are telling about these things. Now we have another few more important terms. For example, control volume. So control volume, control surfaces, control mass. Okay, so just have a look of this picture. Okay, this is a picture. So the top two pictures represents the control volume. The bottom two pictures represent the infinitesimal small fluid element. Okay, so simply we can call it as a fluid element. Okay, this size is very small, that is why it's called as a infinitesimally fluid element. So hereafter I am going to use only for the fluid element. So just you understand that the fluid elements means infinitesimally fluid element. So these two pictures represents control volume, these two pictures represents fluid element. Okay, now we come to the definition. The control volume is nothing but a open system which allows transfer of both mass and energy over a fixed volume. That is called as control volume. Okay, control volume, that is a system. System nothing but is combination of surroundings and other things. Okay, you are studying the thermodynamics. Okay, it may be a confined matter involved for the particular region, that is called as a systems. So systems and surroundings is called as a universal. Like that we have so many terms. Again, the systems also two types, open system and closed system. So when you're talking about control volume, we have to remember that is a open system. So open system is nothing but it allowed to transfer the mass and the energy from the system to surrounding. So that is the meaning of the particular open system. Okay, if that is the case, we are having some fixed volume. That volume is called as the control volume. That is the meaning of the control volume. Again, some more point. The control volume is the volume in space of spatial interest of particular analysis. The surface of the control volume is referred as the control surface. Okay, some surfaces confined with the control volume, that surface is called as the control surface. Again, you say it is a closed surface. The surface is defined with relative to coordinate system that may be fixed, movable, or it may be rotatable one. So that is the condition of your control volume. It may be a fixed one, it may be a movable one, it may be a rotatable one. Now you come to the control mass. Even though the control mass we are not using in this derivation, but you should know the difference between control mass and control volume. The control volume defined based on the open system. The control mass defined based on the closed system. Okay, a closed systems allows only transfer of energy, not mass. Okay, in the open system it allowed to both mass and energy. In the closed system only allowed transfer of energy only, not mass. Okay, so if that is why the type of mass is called as a controlled mass. The next one, the control surface. The surface enclosing the control volume is referred to as the control surface. Infinitesimally small element, that is what we discussed in the that what we see in the picture. The small fluid element considered as a infinitesimally small fluid elements which may be either fixed or movable along with the flow. It's a very small size. So these are the definition we are going to use frequently, the control volume and the fluid element. Now we are coming to the model of the flow. So why we need to know the model of the flow? Again, come to this principle. The second point. So the first point telling about the fundamental principle. So based on the problem, we will come to know whether we are going to choose mass is conserved principle or Newton's second law principle or energy is conserved principle. The second point is suitable model. Okay, model of the flow. Okay, that is why we are need to study about model of the flow. So based on the control volume and fluid element, we have the 4 different type of models. So based on the control volume, see here, this is the control volume and fluid element picture. So based on these things, we have the 4 different model. So how they are differentiate each and every one, we'll see one by one. The first model, finite control volume fixed in space with fluid moving through it. The first condition, the control volume fixed in space. That is the first model. Second model, the same finite control volume moving with the fluid such that the same fluid particle are always in the same control volume. The first model, control volume is fixed in space. The second model, control volume moving along with the fluid. So that is the difference between the two cases. So the first two cases depends upon the control volume. The third case, infinitesimal fluid element fixed in space, like first case, the fluid element fixed in space with the fluid moving through it. Then fourth one, infinitesimal fluid element moving along with a streamline with a velocity v equal to the local flow velocity at each point. The second, the fourth case is the fluid element moving along with the flow, that is called moving along with the streamline. Okay, so these are the four different models we are using for the deriving of the continuity equation. So based on the control volume, two cases, based on the fluid element, two cases. So depends upon the fixed in space or moving along with flow. So now we can able to understand each and every governing equation like continuity equation, momentum equation or energy equation. Based on these four models, we have four different forms. That is why I said the title, the continuity equation for the four different forms. Okay, so we are in this video we are going to discuss all the four models. Especially you can refer any textbook, especially a fluid mechanics or any other aerodynamic textbook. Okay, most of the textbook they are follow the fluid element model, especially fixed in space. That is a third case. So third case only, most of the classes also we will derive about the continuity equation, but in this video I give the idea about all four models. So this is regarding the types of model. Then we have another doubt, when we can use the integral form of equation, when we can use the differential form of equation. Okay, so you know very well, control volume means almost it will be covering of the total amount of volumes, especially for the confined region. Okay, not especially for the particular point, it's a particular region. So automatically when you are summing of the area or summing of the region, we can go for the integral form. The same way we are looking for the final equation in integral form, you need to apply the control volume approaches. Similarly, you are looking for only a particular point or particular location or particular value of the particular pressure, temperature, like that, then you can go for the differential form. Okay, so differential form means you have to choose the model based on the fluid element. So control volume approaches you are choosing, you will get the integral form of equation. Suppose the starting itself you are choosing fluid element approaches, you will get the differential form of equation. So depends upon your requirement, you have to choose the models, whether the control volume or fluid element. So now you can able to understand when we can choose the integral form or when we will get the differential form. Now you come here again, another two important terms, you can see the equations, the conservation form or non-conservation form. Frequently they are used in the aerospace engineering, especially for aerodynamic subjects. Okay, so how we can differentiate conservation form and non-conservation form is based on the only fixed position, whether either the control volume or fluid element, it doesn't matter. Okay, either is control volume or fluid element. Suppose it is fixed in space, then that is called as a conservation form of continuity equation or conservation form of momentum equation or conservation form of energy equation. Anyway, if it is fixed in space, then that is called as a conservation form. Suppose either the control volume or fluid element, okay, it is moving along with the fluid, then that is called non-conservation form. So these are all the understanding will be helpful for identifying the problem, similarly identifying the equation properly. Okay, now you have the idea about four different models, flow model especially. Then when we are looking for the integral form, when you are looking for the differential form, and similarly the meaning of the conservation form and non-conservation form. Now you have your look. Okay, so see the one, this is the control volume, the first case, the control volume moving along with the flow. Okay, the moving along with the flow, that is why these are the streamline, okay, the control volume moving along with the flow, that is why the control volume also is almost going along with the flow, like that the illustration are given. This is the first case. The second case, the control volume fixed in space. Okay, the control volume fixed in space, that means the inside the masses of the volume is always constant, the mass will not be changed. Okay, because it is fixed in space. It's not moving along with the flow. It's a fixed in space. Automatically, the mass inside the control volume is constant. That is the most important point you have to remember. So mass inside the control volume is constant. Okay. Then the third case, it's a fluid element. The fluid element moving along with the streamline or moving along with the flow. Okay, the same case. Then here the fluid element fixed in space, especially same here also the mass will be constant. Okay, so when you are talking about fixed in space, the point you have to remember, the mass inside the control volume or mass inside the fluid element is constant. Okay, so why we are looking for all those things? Because we are going to discuss about changes in the property. Okay, the changes in the property, if the first case the flow will be entering into the control volume and leaving from the control volume, so we can able to easily identify the changes in the property. Suppose here the fluid is not entering inside the control volume, only mass is constant in the control volume. Okay, the fluid is not exactly entering, the mass is fixed. So we have to approach some other way how to identify the changes in the property, especially for velocity or other property we have to find out. So this is the main difference between these two cases. Okay, here mass may be vary, here mass may not be vary. Then how we will identify the changes in the other parameter? That is why we are introducing the concept is called as substantial derivative. That is the reason we are introducing the concept substantial derivative. So substantial derivative will be helpful to identify these two cases. So we may not be directly apply for these cases, okay, but substantial derivative mainly apply for these two cases. Then you can able to identify when it is fixed in space is called as a conservation form. When it is not fixed in, it is moving along with the flow, it is a non-conservation form. This is a conservation form, non-conservation form. Similarly, I am choosing for the control volume, so it is a integral form of equation I will get. This is a fluid element, so automatically I will get the differential form of equation. Okay, this is the idea you have to get. So now we have to introduce another concept, substantial derivative. So just now we discussed about the need of a substantial derivative. So what is the need of substantial derivative? When the fluid element or control volume fixed in space, mass will not change, but we need to identify the other parameters. Okay, so how we are going to identify the other parameters? By using of the substantial derivative. Okay, substantial derivative, the symbol is capital D by dt. That is called a substantial derivative. Okay, this is the equation, the general equation of substantial derivative. D by dt almost equal to dou by dou t plus v into delta. Okay, so what is the meaning of these two terms? The first term represents local derivative. Okay, the dou by dou t is called as a local derivative. The second term represents convective derivative. Okay, automatically the substantial derivative is nothing but a combination of local derivative and convective derivative. When you summing of convective derivative and local derivative, you will get the substantial derivative. Okay, then what is the need of local derivative and convective derivative? We will see. So first you have to identify the meaning of each and every term. The first term, substantial derivative. Okay, it is an important concept in fluid mechanics which describes the changes of fluid element by physical properties such as temperature, density, velocity, component of the flowing fluid along with the trajectory. Trajectory means it's a space or path. Okay, so when the control volume or fluid element it's moving along with the flow, okay, then we have to find out what is the meaning of the each and every, what is the changes of each and every parameter by using of these two cases, substantial derivative. Okay, if it is fixed in space, automatically one time will be 0, other time automatically come to the picture. Now we will see the local derivative. Local derivative, the rate of change of quantity with respect to time. Okay, the parameter going to changes with respect to only time, not with respect to the space. Okay, because it's a fixed point. It is a fixed point of the fluid. So the example they given, the using for the letter dou f by dou t. Normally the local derivative symbol dou by dou t. Here f represents, you can replace f with any other physical parameter. For example, you want to find out the velocity changes with respect to time, you got to replace f with velocity. Or you want to find out the pressure, you replace f with the pressure P. Or with density you can replace f with rho. Like that, whatever the parameter you need it, just you replace with f and you substitute the value, and you can able to find out the changes for the particular parameter with respect to the time. Okay, so if you are doing like that, that type of things is called as a local derivative. So local derivative, the changes of property with respect to only time, it is a fixed point. Okay, that is the meaning of the local derivative. Now come to the converted derivative. So the symbol of converted derivative, v dot delta. So v dot delta, delta dot v is a converted derivative. A derivative taken with respect to a moving coordinates. Okay, it's a moving coordinate system, also called a Lagrangian derivatives. Okay, so I think you know the two type of flow approaches will be there. One is Lagrangian derivative, other one is Euler derivative. So what is the meaning of Euler derivative? Euler derivative means when you're solving the engineering problem, you have to draw the domain. So domain means some bigger than the control volume. So you have to draw the domain. Then we have to analysis. That type of the analysis problem is called as a Lagrangian derivative. Euler approaches or Euler derivative. If it is Lagrangian derivative, especially instead of drawing the domain and analyzing the parameter, we are choosing one particle, then we are analyzing the particle. So the type of analysis is called as a Lagrangian analysis or Lagrangian derivative. The best example of Lagrangian derivative, especially for rocket. Okay, so consider rocket is a single particle. We are looking only for the movement of the particle, how it is moving away from the ground, whether it is exactly located to the orbit or not. So like that, we are looking only for the analysis of the rocket, though. Now consider rocket as a particle. So if you are doing like that, the type of thing is called as a Lagrangian approaches or Lagrangian derivative. Okay, if suppose instead of I looking for the 10 meter of pipe, so in the 10 meter of pipe I am having the only 5 meter analysis, 5 meter length of the pipe, what is happening for pressure value, temperature value, that type of things I want to analysis, then I have to make a domain. So that type of the approach is called as a Euler approaches. Here the converted derivatives follow the Lagrangian approaches, Lagrangian derivatives. Okay, so that is the difference between Euler and Lagrangian. Then this is the idea behind the substantial derivative. It's nothing but a combination of local derivative and converted derivative. So here the expansion of del dot v is given by 1 by dou v dou d by dt with respect to the dou v. So like that we can able to expand this particular term. So what is the exactly physical meaning of del dot v is nothing but is a physically the time rate of change of volume of the moving fluid element per unit volume. Okay, time rate of change of volume of the moving element per unit volume. So that is the meaning of your converted derivative. Okay, so this is very important concept when discuss about your governing equation. So here you will get some idea how to obtain the problems. Okay, so we are discussing about the three methods. See here we are looking at 3 methods. The first one, we have to choose the physical principle, then models, and you have to find the mathematical form of equation. Okay, again now apply here. So the first one, some fundamental physical principle. So physical principle means either it is a mass is conserved or Newton's second law or energy is conserved. It's a continuity momentum energy equation. So you have to choose the first principle. After choosing of the principle, how we are choosing the principle depends upon your problem. You have to identify the problem involves what are the parameter. Based on the parameter, you have to choose the principle. Once you are choosing the principle, then you go for the model. So how many models we have? We have the 4 models. Okay, fluid element, control volume having a 2 approaches, fixed in space, moving along with flow. Similarly, fluid element, fixed in space or moving along with flow. So among the 4 models, you have to choose one. Then automatically that model will be applicable for either by using the continuity equation alone we can able to solve the problem, or some of the problems required combination of 2 governing equation, or some of the problems may be required for combination of 3 governing equation. Okay, so depends upon that one we can able to choose the principle, then we can able to get the solution. So these approaches will be helpful for mostly in the computational fluid dynamics subject. So computational fluid dynamics subject is a subject related to fluid mechanics. A starting of a knowledge behind CFD based on the fluid mechanics, then low speed aerodynamics, that is called as aerodynamics 1, then high speed aerodynamics, that is called aerodynamics 2, and CFD, computational fluid dynamics. Sometimes it involves viscous flow theory, boundary layer theory knowledge also. Similarly, you need heat transfer subject knowledge also for solving of CFD problems. So here we can able to understand the importance of CFD, okay, because we cannot able to solve all the problem experimentally, but by using of analytical method we can able to solve either analytical or flow type of problems. For obtaining this result we need the CFD. So for obtaining result in the CFD we are starting with the physical principle of the governing equation, okay, that is what this slide says. So this is a very familiar one, the continuity equation in the one dimensional form. So now we are exactly going to derive the continuity equation. So in fluid mechanics textbook or any other textbook, normally you can see this picture, the continuity equation for one dimensional form, okay. The continuity equation principle is mass is conserved, okay, the mass is conserved. How we are going to get the mass term? We are multiplying the three terms, okay, area, velocity and density. So this is the problems given. The amount of mass entering is a point number 1, amount of mass leaving at point number 2. Suppose I want to apply the continuity equation, I need to follow the principle mass is conserved. That means amount of mass entering, it always equal to the amount of mass leaving. If I am following that condition, then only I can able to apply for the continuity equation, okay. Then mass term, how I can able to calculate? Because I cannot get the mass term directly, but I have the other parameter. So what are the other parameter I am having? So I am having the area for the particular location, then velocity of the flow and density of the medium, whether you are taking the liquid or gases that having the density, that density you have to consider, okay. The area meter square, velocity meter per second and density kg per meter cube. So common term will be get cancelled, automatically mass flow rate kg per second you can able to get. So the A1 V1 rho 1, it should be equal to A2 V2 rho 2. That is what continuity equation says. So that is why you are getting the continuity equation rho 1 A1 V1 equal to rho 2 A2 V2. It's only for one dimensional continuity equation. Okay, now suppose if you are considering the compressible or incompressible. So compressible is nothing but density are changes, okay. The volume compressible means density are changing, okay. Incompressible means density constant. So density constant but the volume may be changes. So how they are maintaining that one? By changing of the volume. So this is the difference between compressible flow and incompressible flow. Just I want to give the idea, that is why given this picture. See here, now this is a form of continuity equation. So in the previously we had the continuity equation rho 1 V1 A1, but in these cases we have the continuity equation only A1 V1 equal to A2 V2. So which term is missing? Rho term is missing, okay. Rho is nothing but density. So why this term is not available here? Because density is constant. So density is constant means automatically it is called as incompressible flow. So this continuity equation especially applied for the incompressible flow. So like that you can able to identify the types of the flow. Then again just the idea for the Bernoulli's equation and Euler's equation. So these are the very basic equation. So Bernoulli's equation is applied for inviscid incompressible flow and Euler's equation is applied for inviscid incompressible flow, and we are making some changes, it will be applied for compressible flow also. So now we are exactly coming for the derivation of our continuity equation in three-dimensional forms, okay. So in three-dimensional, based on the model we have the four forms, okay. Based on the model we have the four forms. So what are the four models? Control volume fixed in space, control volume moving along with the fluid, again that fluid element fixed in space and fluid element moving along with the fluid. So now we will see the four different form of continuity equation. Continuity equation, the first model, the finite control volume fixed in space, okay. The principle will be mass is conserved. When you are talking about mass is conserved, the amount of mass entering to the control volume should be equal to the amount of mass leaving from the control volume. So based on that one, so the same principle we can able to write in the technical way like this. So net mass of flow out of the control volume through the surface is equal to time rate of decrease of mass inside the control volume. So this is the control volume, this is the control volume, okay, this is the corresponding area ds, okay, area ds, then control volume dv. So what is the meaning of this one? The amount of mass leaving from the control volume through the control surface, okay, the amount of mass leaving from the control volume through the control surface. The mass is leaving only through by the control surface, okay, not through by all the areas. Exactly what we are looking for the ds, through this area only amount of mass leaving, like that we are assuming, okay. The amount of mass leaving from the control surfaces, it should be equal to the amount of mass decreasing inside the control volume. So what is the amount of mass decreases inside the control volume? The both should be equal, okay. That is the meaning of the sentence. Now we read one here. The net mass flow out of the control volume through the surface S, okay, the ds small, the total will be S, we are considering the small ds, okay. Similarly, the time rate of decrease of mass inside the control volume, okay. So this amount of mass you should be equal to this amount of mass. That is the meaning of the principle. So like that, for example, there is a cube box. In the cube box, 100 amount of bar pressure is coming out of the cube box, like that you can assume, okay. 100 pressure, 100 bar amount of pressure is leaving from the box. It's like a control volume, okay. The same amount of pressure should be decreases inside the cubic box, that is 100 bar. 100 bar amount of pressure should be decrease inside the cubic box, then that is equal to 100 bar amount of pressure should be leaving from the control cubic box. So that should be equal. The leaving should not be 110 or reducing should not be 90-95. So if that is if it is happen like that, then that is the meaning of not exactly based on the mass is conserved principle. So that is the meaning of these lines. So now we are looking for only the mass flow term. So how we can able to get the mass flow term? Nothing but a combination of density, area and velocity. So we know that unit of density kg per meter cube, area meter square and velocity meter per second. Now similarly, suppose I want to find the mass, you can able to multiply with the density into volume. So mass flow rate means we have to look for the time derivative. Only mass means we are looking only for the kg, okay. So density into volume nothing but when you are multiplying with these parameter, common term will be get cancelled, you will get only kg term. So now come for the derivation. So hence the elemental mass flow across the area ds is rho v ds. This is rho, okay, exactly, this is no not p, okay, rho v ds, okay, rho v ds, same principle, rho v ds. So rho v ds nothing but the amount of mass generated by the fluid element, density, volume into area. The inflow and outflow, this time you have to remember what is the meaning of inflow and outflow. See the picture. So here the arrow mark is directly away from the control volume, so this is called outflow. Suppose the arrow mark going towards inside the control volume, that is called inflow, okay. So inflow means the mass is entering into the control volume, outflow means mass leaving from the control volume. So here the arrow mark given is like this way, so this is called outflow. The same way inflow also will be happen, but the picture is giving the direction only for the outflow. So this thing you have to remember. So inflow and outflow based on the diagram and representation. So we have the mass inflow and mass outflow. Then the net mass flow out of the entire control volume through the control surface S in the summation over the S of the elemental mass flow expressed, because we consider only for the small value ds. We consider only for the small value ds. Suppose I want to find the total mass flow through the control surface S, means I have to go for the integration, okay. So now we have to see here this left hand side of the equation they represent as a B letter. The right hand side of the equation they represent as a C letter, letter C. This is called letter C for the simply identification purpose. Then this is they called as a B. So now we are deriving the B. That is the meaning of the net mass flow out of the entire control volume through the control surface S is nothing but the summation of rho v ds, density, volume into area. That is what we are looking we discussed here, okay. This is for mass flow through the control volume, okay, by the control surfaces, okay. Now we have to go for the C term. that is the time decrement. Okay, the mass contained within the control elemental volume dV is rho into dV. This is rho, not P. Okay, density into volume, rho V. Okay, the total mass inside the control volume is automatically, I want to find the total control volume, I have to go for the integral, triple integral. So now here we consider mass flow through the control surface. That is why we are using for the double integral, double integral for surface area. Here we are considering only for the volume. So that is why we are considered for the triple integral. Okay, so again you read the principle. Net mass flow out of control volume through the surface. Through the surface means line double integral. Now the time rate of decrease of mass inside the control volume. Now we have to go for the triple integral. So that is why here the B term we are getting the double integral and the C term we are getting for triple integral. So this is the amount of mass available for the control volume, that is density into volume. Our requirement is time rate of decrease. So how we can able to obtain that one? So time rate means automatically you can go for the derivative. Okay, dou by dou t, the time derivative. Again we are looking for the decreases. So decreases, how we are going to represent, that is minus. So this term is called as a letter C. So that is equation the right hand side. So now we have to combine equation B and C. Equation B and C. Now we are combining equation B and C. You will get the equation like that. Dou by dou t triple integral P into dV plus double integral rho V ds equal to 0. So this is the continuity equation for the first model. So when you are considering finite control volume fixed in space, okay, then we are getting this type of the equation. Now we are going for the second model, model 2, finite control volume moving with the fluid. So it's moving along with the fluid. So what is the main point you got to remember here? When your control volume moving along with the fluid, the mass inside the control volume is constant. Mass inside the control volume is constant. The volume may be changes, or size may be changes, shape may be changes, it doesn't matter, but mass inside the control volume is always constant. Okay, based on that one, you see here the moving control volume has a fixed mass. The total mass of the finite control volume, like the previous equation, we have the density into volume, density kg per meter cube, volume meter cube. So meter cube get cancelled, we get only for the kg value. So the kg is nothing but mass. So we are looking for the mass term only for this particular derivation. Then based on the substantial derivative of this unchanging mass. Why it is unchanging mass? Because we are following the mass is conserved principle. When you are following the mass is conserved, when the control volume fixed in space, automatically mass is constant. There is no changes in the mass. So that is why when you are applying this particular condition, we will get this type of the equation. Okay, d by dt triple integral rho dv equal to 0. So other terms will not be come to the picture. So it's a direct method to obtain your cases. So now we know the d by dt. You can expand the d by dt like our previous case. Now you know very well how to expand the d by dt. So this is the expansion of your d by dt. Okay, so d by dt you can expand like this. Then what are the changes applicable? That changes you can able to substitute here. So we have to expand the equation. We are not expanding the equation, so we have to expand the equation. We have to expand the equation. So here, so this is a small dou by dou t. This is dou by dou t. Okay, the previous case. Now here d by dt. How the d by dt come? Because of the substantial derivative. Okay, so that is the difference between previous case and this case. So first model and second model continuity equations are over. Now we are move on to third model 3. This is one of the famous equation. So here only we are discussing about exactly 3-dimensional form of continuity equation in differential form of 3-dimensional continuity equation. Here again the fluid element, here the third case, the fluid element fixed in space. Okay, now how we can able to give the name for the continuity equation? 3-dimensional conservative form. Okay, 3-dimensional conservative form, because the fluid element fixed in space. That is why it's called as a conservative form. Similarly, the differential equation because we are choosing for the fluid element. So we have to know some basic things. We are considering the fluid element having a dimension of dx, dy and dz is a unit dimension. Okay, and similarly same way we are going to consider the mass flow rate. So how we are going to consider the mass flow rate? Like a combination of density, velocity into area, density, velocity into area. Okay, here we are considering the 6 phases, left and right. So left and right are the phases, left and right are the one phases. Just I give the numbers. So this is the first phase, left and right, second phase. Okay, and then bottom and top, this is for your 3 and 4 phases. Then front and back, here I am writing front and back. Like that we have the 6 phases. So front phase and back phase, I mean left phase and right phase, bottom phase and top phase, front phase and back phase. So we have the 6 different phases. Then finally so we have to apply for all those things. So how we are going to apply this? Just I remove all the numbers. So we are going to find the mass we are going to find the mass term. How we are going to find the mass term? As usual, density, velocity into area. When I am considering the phases like 1 and 2, left and right, the area will be dx, dy and dz, because this is x-axis. You see here, this is x-axis, this is y-axis, and this is z-axis. Okay, so this area I am considering for this phase and this phase. So you multiply these two component. So this is y dy and this is z dz. Okay, so area for the left hand side we can say like dy dz. Similarly here also dy dz. The same way when I am considering the top and bottom surfaces. So top and bottom surfaces I need to consider this dotted line, that for the area. So that time we have the area like multiplying with dx and dz. So dx and dz for bottom, the same way for top. When I am considering the front and back, okay, I have the area like that dy and dx and dy. I am considering the front and back, I have the area dy and dx. So this is for the front area. The same way for back side also. Like that we have to find the area. So that is the meaning of the area. Then as usual, density rho, velocity. So velocity normally in the one dimensional form, directly we can take the velocity symbol v. Now we are deriving for the 3 dimensional. So for the 3 dimensional, velocity also given by the three ways, u, v and w. So u is the representation of x direction velocity component, and v will be the y direction velocity component, and w will be the z direction velocity component. So for the first case, very carefully listen, this is for x axis, this is y axis, this is z axis. Okay, so the first case I am considering x direction mass flow rate. I am considering the x direction mass flow rate. Okay, then automatically density rho, x direction velocity component u, that is why u comes, then area dy dz. So this is the area dy dz. So this is the area only I am going to consider. Similarly this area. Okay, so rho u dy by dz, the amount of mass inflow to the fluid element. Then that's the changes because it crosses the distance dz. This crosses the distance dz. Automatically some changes will be happen. So that how we are going to represent. See here there is a small correction in the textbook itself. I am following the CFD by Anderson textbook. I don't know which version I am following. Here instead of dx they are given the dy. Okay, you make a correction. This is not a y, this is dx. Okay, now we need to identify the changes for the corresponding parameter rho u after crossing of distance dx. So after crossing of the dx, what is the changes that we are going to discuss. Okay, that is why the partial derivative comes. We are keeping other direction, y direction, z direction changes are constant. That is why you are using for the partial derivative. You know very well the partial derivative only for the changes in the particular direction. So we are considering changes in the x direction only. So automatically dou by dou x, this term is called as dou by dou x, not dou y. Okay, correction. Okay, dou by dou x. Then what parameter are changing? Only density into velocity. Okay, so that is why dou rho u by dou y comes. Now what is the amount of distance is covered? Dx, because it travel from this point to this point. So this is the ds distance. That is why it comes dx. Okay, so the total change in the parameter. So initial value rho u, okay, plus the changes happening because of the travel from this point to this point, that distance is dx. So automatically rho u plus dou rho u by dou x into dx. So this is a velocity and density term, and the area term dy dx. So this is the amount of mass outflow from the control fluid element. So this is the amount of mass enter into the fluid element. This amount of mass outflow from the fluid element in the x direction alone, only for the x direction. The same way you need to find out y direction. Y direction, from that means from bottom to top. See here, from bottom density as usual rho. So y direction, automatically y direction velocity component v. Okay, then here is a inflow, that is there is no much changes, only inflow rho v, area dx dz. Okay, area is dx dz, the bottom area only we are considering. Okay, again see here, now you can able to understand this. These changes travel only in the y direction, that is why here dou by dou y comes. Okay, now you can able to understand. Okay, not dou y, this is dou x here. Okay, because it travels x direction. Here dou by dou y, then automatically the changes for the particular parameter, then automatically the total outflow for the mass flow from the top surfaces, the quantity will be represented by rho v plus dou rho v by dou y into dy, then area dx dz. The same way for front and back. So front and back represents your z direction. So z direction, the inflow. So inflow, then it is outflow. So inflow will be negative, inflow front direction, outflow will be back side. So inflow will be front side, outflow will be back side. Same, the density area into velocity. Okay, density rho, velocity z direction. So z direction velocity component w, and the area dx dy. I am considering only for the front portion. So this is our dx and this is length will be dy. So automatically area comes dx dy. The same way changes for the other parameter, I mean the outflow of the mass, rho w plus dou rho w by dou z dx dz dx dy. So this is a mass outflow from the back side. So we need to consider all those things. Okay, if you are not able to understand clearly, listen one more time. This is very important, because based on this only we are going to derive the continuity equation of this particular model. See here, so what are things I told in the based on the picture, just given in the sentence form. The first to consider the left and right faces of the element which are perpendicular to the x-axis. Okay, the area of these faces is dy dz. Okay, then the mass flow through the left face, mass flow, density, velocity into area, the same concept. And similarly, since the velocity and density are the function of spatial location, the values of the mass flux across the right face will be different from the across the left face. That is why we are consider another term. Then the difference in the mass flux between the two faces, simply dou rho u by dou x into dx. That is the form. Then automatically the total mass flow for the x direction we are considering like this way. Then the same way for top and bottom surfaces. Similarly front and back surfaces. So you have to remember, when the inflow comes, that represents minus direction. You see here, net outflow of the x direction. So this is the outflow from the left direction, this outflow from the right direction. Okay, now the net outflow, just to see the picture. So this is our net outflow we are going to represent. The flow inflow it represents minus because mass entering inside. So the textbook following, the inflow will be minus, then outflow will be positive. So that is plus symbol. Okay, that is why we are getting the net outflow, the positive of these cases, the positive of this one, and the negative of the left hand side. So right hand side will be positive, left hand side will be negative because this is inflow, this is outflow. Then do the simple mathematical arrangements, you will get the equation because common terms are get cancelled. Dou rho u by dou x plus dx into dx dy dz. This is the term we are obtaining net outflow of x direction. The same way net outflow of y direction, the inflow will be negative, outflow will be positive, the common term get cancelled, you will get this particular form, dou rho v by dou y into dx dy dz. The same way for net outflow of z direction, rho dou rho w by dou z dx dy dz. So like that we are getting the form of the equations. So now we are combining x, y, z direction of net mass flow, that is dou rho u by dou x plus dou rho v by dou y plus dou rho w by dou z into dx dy dz. Okay, now automatically it is a fixed one. Okay, this is a fixed case. Just you remember this one. This is a fixed case, the same what we did in the first model. Okay, the fixed made net mass flow only we find for the case 3. Okay, now we have to find the time rate of decrease of mass, the same principle for the model 1 and model 3. Okay, now we have to find the case here. Okay, so net mass flow is over. Now we need to find out time rate of mass. Generally increase means mass, how we are finding, you are multiplying with the density into area. So density rho area for the volume, density into volume, sorry, density volume only mass. So density rho volume dx dy dz. So time rate means we are taking time derivative dou by dou t. So increases means positive, but we are looking for the decreases. So automatically the minus term will come. See this equation, minus dou rho by dou t dx dy dz. So now we can able to compare like your first case. This is equation, this is a letter B, this is letter C. Okay, the physical principle of mass is concerned when applied to the fixed element, the net mass flow out of the element must equal to the time rate of decrease of the mass inside the element, the same thing like a control volume. So because of that, this is the mass flow and this is a mass decrement based on the control element, fluid element. Okay, now we have to do the small mathematical arrangement. Finally we are getting three-dimensional continuity equation. This is a form dou rho by dou t plus dou rho u by dou x plus dou rho v by dou y plus dou rho w by dou z equal to 0. Okay, how we can able to name this equation? Because density term presence. So density term presence means density getting changes. If density getting changes, that is compressible flow, because density constant means density term will not be there. Here density will be present, so it is a compressible flow. Similarly changes with respect to time, time derivative comes, so automatically it's a unsteady flow. So unsteady, compressible, okay, then x, y, z, three axes are available, so automatically it's a three-dimensional. Okay, so now how we can able to give the name? So three-dimensional because three axes will be there, density present, so compressible, density changes with respect to time derivative, so it is unsteady, so automatically three-dimensional, unsteady, compressible, again the fluid element fixed in space, so automatically called as conservation. So conservation form of continuity equation. Again I repeat the name. What is the name of this continuity equation? Three-dimensional, compressible, unsteady, conservation form of continuity equation, because all those things are available here. Suppose z time is not present, then it is called a two-dimensional. Then z y it is not available, that is called one-dimensional. Now suppose rho time is not available, that is incompressible. Again the time derivative is not available, that is steady. Okay, so depends upon the parameters available in this equation, we have to name the particular form of the equation. Then we are going to replace the whole term with the divergence parameter. Okay, this term will be replaced by like this way. So this is the form of your continuity equation for the model 3. Now it's a very simple one. Model 4 continuity equation. So model 4 continuity equation, especially fluid element moving along with the flow. It's a fluid element moving along with the flow. That means the mass is constant. So mass is constant means there is no change in the mass. Okay, it is a fluid element. That is why we are having the area. We are going to find the mass. Always we are going to find the mass because the continuity equation based on the principal mass is conserved. So the fluid element. So fluid element having a area ds, okay, and volume v, small volume v. Okay, so based on that one, denote the fixed mass because the fluid element fixed in mass. That is for your fourth model. So fixed mass, the variable volume of this moving fluid element can be represented by again the mass density into volume. Density kg per meter cube, volume meter cube. So meter cube get cancelled, kg, that is equal to mass. So this term will be expanded like this way because since the mass is conserved, we can state that the time rate of change of mass of the fluid element is 0. The elemental moving along with the flow because we are going to use the principle of substantial derivative. So substantial derivative will be helpful to changes in the parameter because the control volume or fluid element, when it is fixed condition, we need to go for the substantial derivative. So based on that one, the mass term will be can able to expand. So by using of basic differential equation u by v principle, we can able to expand it. So once you expand it, you will get the equation like this. So this is for the final form of continuity equation for your fourth model. So now the consolidated all the type of models will be given here, including of the equations. So now we come to the conclusion, almost come to the conclusion. So we are having the four models: model 1, model 2, model 3, model 4. Control volume, fixed in space, control volume moving along with flow. Fluid element, fixed in space, fluid element moving along with flow. So this is the equation for the first model. This is the equation for the second model. Then this is the equation for your third model and fourth model. So you can able to easily identify when I am using the control volume, I will get the differential form of continuity equation. When I am using the fluid element, I am getting the differential form of continuity equation. The same way we can able to interchange, okay, by using some mathematical application, mathematical procedures, we can able to convert differential form into integral form or integral form into differential form. That is also possible. Okay, suppose by mistake instead of choosing for control volume, you are choosing for the fluid element. Later only you are knowing that you are choosing for the wrong method. Okay, it is possible one. Okay, just I am saying it is a possible one to convert integral form into differential form. So these are the four different form of continuity equation. So as I mentioned in the first slide, so this is a given example. This example I taken from the Fluid Mechanics by White textbook. Okay, it's a direct formula. Just to read the problems because already the video covering of four different models. Okay, then again one more problems based on your models. Okay, so it's a very self-explanatory problems. Okay, no need any explanation. So you can pause this video and read the problems. You can able to easily understand. For your immediate reference purpose, I given this example. Okay, so for the example based on your continuity equation. So the problem having a two subdivision, subdivision A and B. Okay, all the solutions method and solution also will be available. Okay, you can have a look. So finally, so I'm following the three. I refer the three textbook, especially Computational Fluid Dynamics by Anderson. Most of the pictures or most of the equations or most of the concept I followed for that particular book only, Computational Fluid Dynamics by Anderson, and also I referred Fundamental of Aerodynamics by Anderson and Fluid Mechanics by White. So these are the reference books I followed. So thank you once again for watching this video.